Hey, everybody. Hold on. We're going to add our person here for our special guest, Who's a Majiggy What's It? And there. Hi. Welcome to this week's Post Hoot. Hey! We are joined today by Andy Garner-Flexner, who is our art director, and, of course, Rebecca Rose, who you all know and love. This is Sarah-Nicole Robles, and I am me. Hi. How's it going? We're waiting for Roger Craig Smith to join us, and as soon as he's here, we'll add him right in, and then we'll dive in and get wild.
Sorry, there's something off screen.
Oh, yes. As always, our good bud.
He's been MIA.
Mr.
A little
Hoot.
saucy this week.
The Hoot Man.
This thing.
We also
Wait,
decided to just hold the phone instead of trying to be professional
feels
and
like
have
we
it
get to hang out
somewhere else so that
It is a day early. Thank you for noticing. Yeah.
so that I can swivel.
So we could get all these amazing cast and crew. We gotta juggle things around sometimes.
You know.
Oh no, Roger Craig Smith is unable to join. All right, I'm gonna try again. What's going on, Roger?
Join us, Roger.
Hold on. Technology is rad.
The water is fine.
All right, Roger, get on in here. Where are you at, fun guy?
Well,
Words are good. I
Shall
say
we begin?
words good.
Shall we begin the summer recap? Oh,
there he is! Yay, everybody!
Woo!
Roger.
Hello. Holy cow. It's everybody.
Whole squad.
Raj, you
Yes.
don't know Sarah-Nicole. This is Sarah-Nicole. She's the voice of Lilith.
Hello, nice to meet you as well. I've got a horrible camera angle here. Let me see if I can.
You're very dapper. This
try.
is Andy, who's our art director.
Hello.
You're not even paying attention, you
Hey
bastard.
there.
Hi. I art direct on the
Hi.
house.
That's right. And Rebecca Rose, who's one of our PAs on the show.
Hello.
Hey, Rebecca. How are you?
Guys, this is Roger's first voiceover job ever.
So
So,
he's really new.
no, Roger is pretty much the workingest man in voiceover. He is not only the voice of Warden Wrath and the weird curator museum guy, but also I don't know, maybe you've heard of a little guy named Batman, maybe Sonic. I don't know, I could go on the Dodge Ram guy. Listen, this guy does everything, and he's amazing, and he's also a superhuman, awesome guy. So
Says
They
you,
said,
as I
"Nice to meet you,
knocking things
Roger."
over in my house. Sorry.
you're fine.
How are you, friend?
I'm good. It's I feel very much like an hour ahead and old.
I'm so
Also-
sorry. I didn't even think of that.
No. It's so funny. I all of a sudden I was just like, why am I tired? I'm about to go do this. I was like, oh, because it's almost 9 o'clock my time, and my goodness, who stays up past 9 p.m.?
So happens you.
all right, well, we'll cut it down from the normal 3 hours then, and we'll just make it
Yeah.
short.
Perfect. Works for me. No, it's
So
very
we usually
funny.
just do a couple of questions and fun things, and then
Cool.
A quick recap.
Quick
We'll start with a recap. So
Okay.
this week, I got a new outfit, and that's important to note.
Oh,
Everyone
God.
loved it.
Yeah,
Everyone loves
someone already
that.
made it, and I already tried to get one. Amity got a new outfit. The Abon got a new outfit.
Edric and Emma, we got to see their real.
Oh my
outfits.
God! And they're
Yes.
secretly
Oh my gosh.
uggos, and that made me like them
Absolutely.
more. I think they might be my favorite characters.
Yes.
we got to
out
see Warden Wrath's pea eyes.
Oh yeah, you have spooky
Yeah,
little
so-
demon eyes. Your little cute eyes. They're so cute.
I tried to do my homework and watch the most recent episode. So and I think I watched the most recent one. So
If you were the star of it, it was the most recent one.
Yeah.
okay, was it the competition with the? Okay, good. Okay, good. I've done my homework.
We found out how Luce charges her phone finally, so
Oh, yeah.
thank goodness.
Wait,
yeah.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, it's
like
in
in
the
a jar. They're
it's
like
in a little jar.
lightning bugs, but
Yeah,
they're very literally
absolutely.
like lightning bugs.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
So they
That,
charge her phone.
so that was really nice.
Yeah.
The reminder on her phone wasn't the greatest thing, but it was important to her, of course.
Yeah.
So we had a moment of distraction, if you will, productivity on Luce's plate, and then Amity comes barging in and says, "Hey, I have the perfect solution,
And to
girlfriend."
distract you
Mhm.
for the whole day.
And then she's like, "Tell me it all."
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you do.
As you do.
I also love that out the gate you can tell Luce has bags under her eyes and her hair is
She's got
all
emo hair.
askew. Yeah, it's really good.
Some days it's like that. And wait, Amity's voice modulation spell.
I literally was about to say something about
Okay,
that.
let's
The
talk
way
about
that, like, she just is like, and now I talk like my father. And I'm like, excuse me.
Suddenly,
If I had that
It's a
during,
big
like,
flex, right? Why would that
absolutely.
happen in their teen years?
That
Right?
part, like, as the school's trying to call my parents, I'll just be like, hi, I think you're just a butthead. Thank you. Bye.
yes, this is Mr.
Yeah, absolutely. That's impressive. So yeah,
I
that
agree.
happened, and then Ida was like, "Whatever, get out of my house."
Children, bah.
Yeah,
Yes.
goodbye.
I mean, teenagers, that's what you do.
Well,
You're like,
truly.
okay, you go
They
do what you're gonna
Yeah,
do
they
then. All right.
smell, and, you know.
Nice.
I like this episode probably more than any, like, got me straight in the feels. I mean,
Oh my
just
god, yeah.
I felt
feels.
very triggered.
not only learning that Warden Wrath was stealing people's lunches,
Right.
but you know,
You should
Like
be
you had to
ashamed
learn
of
that.
yourself.
You just
People
didn't
pack those
assume
lunches.
that. Come on.
People's parents pack those lunches for them with love. And
yeah. So tell us, when you first got Warden Wrath, did you know what the Owl House was?
No. In
No.
fact, I remember going in and auditioning for like maybe a couple different things, as we often do. And no, I had no clue. Like it's the way you find out about this is when somebody's like niece or nephew, like all of a sudden a friend I've had for decades goes, "Oh, dude," and I go, "What?" And they're like, "You were in the Owl House," and I'm like, "Oh yeah."
You're like,
And they
"Hi,
go, no.
guys."
They go, "No, you don't understand. Like you have I have suddenly become the coolest father ever because I know you and we went to high school." And they're just laughing. They're like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." It's like, "No, I didn't know that it was." So no, I mean, don't you kind of wish and hope that all of these things are going to kind of, go gangbusters? But
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
like this one has literally like, I mean, it's incredible. Like doing a one-off kind of not incidental, but let's say non-recurring something that pops in. Was it Jacob or Jacobs? I think is his last name.
The curator guy.
Yeah, the creepy
Yeah.
curator guy. And it was like all of a sudden, like people just start reaching out to you on the social medias, and you just go, "Wow, this resonates."
Thing that they name is attached to LinkedIn. Yeah. The Owl House fans, y'all are incredible, and we love you so much.
Yes,
This show
yes.
is never as big as it would ever be without you. So we love y'all, and every we do, I'm always like, "Oh, the fans, get out." Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Dana, the fans.
Okay. Very serious question. The like Harpy Wrath voice when he gets huge at the end. Did you do the big monster
noises.
scream?
So
you remember?
it's so funny. We always do the monster screams, like we always do the screams, like you do these like weird sounds all the time.
I know the barf. I
That
know
was
the
incredible.
barf.
Oh, the barfing was definitely me.
Masterclass right now, Roger. Keep going.
By the way, I was so thrilled they kept in the belch in the barf. I was like,
We were watching, and Sissy's like, "That was
That's
definitely him."
Roger, for sure.
yeah, that was all real. No, so I'm trying to think like oh my gosh, that was also me.
That was amazing.
Well done.
No, I was like, so every now and then, like, I think what they do is they take something that you do give them and then they modify it, from there. But I'm trying to remember the episode and whether or not I was picking up on some of that stuff. Because there's only I mean, like, I'm not Fred Tatasciore, so I can't.
I actually
incredible.
I am Fred Tatasciore.
Watching him work is like, that's been one of the best things I've ever experienced.
He's
Watching
amazing.
If I attempt half of those like guttural like efforts and sounds that he does, you would literally see tissue like body parts flying out of my it's like I would be
Right, you
breaking
just, like,
things.
Sometimes they're like, "Can you make this noise?" And I'm like, "I don't. Yeah, let's. I don't know. We'll like
know.
try stuff." But he doesn't hesitate. He's like, "Oh yeah, am I gloopy? I'm gloopier. Oh yeah." Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and you're just like,
He'll
"What?"
put in,
Am I
he'll ask
Jonathan?
like, "Do you
Oh,
want
I
me
got
to
it. I know. I've been there before.
Oh, you should have said that to begin with.
Yeah.
so funny.
I'm like,
Yeah, he'll put in like, you know, he'll even ask questions like, "Do you want little bubble sounds at the end of it?"
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
He's just amazing.
All I know is
no, I don't remember. Honestly, Cissy, I can't remember. Like very often they have us do that, and then they go in and they kind of like, you know, the engineers will tweak it and do stuff. So I could hear elements from it where I was going like, but then
Yeah.
they take it, they add all the stuff to it.
yeah.
I was just happy that the belch made it in.
Seriously,
That's
like
most
we just watched it right before this,
We
and
did
I
a
was like,
refresh.
I know that
Because
belch.
sometimes
I
we're
know
like-
that belch.
Anytime I can work in a bodily function sound into like my career, I am like so happy.
Anytime he can work in a bodily function sound
yeah,
into
absolutely.
his career.
Yep.
Yes,
Keep
yes,
that, keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Like a
Yeah.
It's a
grown-up.
little opposite for me in my job category. And like in Zoom, and like if I let one pass, I'm like, did y'all hear that?
You're like, how good is this mic?
That was the door. That was me. That was the seat. The chair.
Blame the dog.
Yeah.
I like this, what do you call it? This transition though, because I think a lot of people don't understand like everything that you do. Can you give us like the layman's term? This is my first day learning about animation. Like if you had to tell someone who's 7 years old, how would you describe your job?
Oh boy. So an art director is a lot of work. So I literally do about 18 things maybe per day. I'm also on about 5 to 6 episodes per day as well. An art director, yes, they direct the art and they make the art concise, but we're really managing a team and we're communicating the vision and we're communicating to the whole team. So you have to be not only good at managing people, but you also have to be really good at communicating what it is that you want from the team. So art direction is very stressful, but very fun. It's not just painting backgrounds and drawing. You're barely doing that. You're mostly filling out forms and communicating with your producer and communicating with the team who animates and the team who designs. It's a lot. And production, of course. Look, the way that we're like talking every single day,
Every day.
that's it.
Yeah.
So art direction is pretty much just a lot of communication.
That's
And
so,
how-
it's
how
so
did you-
interesting. It's so not what I thought it would be at all.
Well, I didn't even know until I was on the Owl House like how many different people there were.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when I just kept meeting people and they're like, this is so and so, they do this, and I was like, that's another thing to do for a cartoon. Like,
Well, it's like you see those credits and you see how many names there are. And you're
Yeah.
like, this is how many people are.
this
involved.
is like an
Yes.
epic and like like something to take on. It's like so like so many
Absolutely.
dozens and dozens of people, and you would have no idea because, like you said, there's so many millions of things to
Yes,
coordinate and
absolutely.
double check and communicate and
Mhm.
actually design.
And actually design. And
Yeah.
and part of that was a lot to do with post-production. So when we're all done designing all of the assets and all of the references for our animation team, they animate it and they color it, and then it comes back. Like they do all the work. I mean, we do a lot of work, but they do like the animation. And then it comes back to us and we say, okay, they did this right. We sent them the wrong materials for this, and we want to make this better. So we have a budget given to us by the studio to determine how many things we can call to improve.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the times, my design team is busy working on new episodes. So
you're
I
alone.
have to kind of take on the role of making any design changes and fixes to the episodes that came back. So it's a whole thing. And while I'm doing that, I'm also doing all my other responsibilities.
So you don't sleep.
The way that I eat at my desk, like, no, I'm just take your lunches. Unions are very
Yes.
important.
Unions are
Support your
important.
unions.
Okay, I did want to talk about a couple of design pieces from this episode. Number one, the tree at the end was also the Grom tree.
Yeah.
Yes, and the little scene where they sent off
It's so
the balloon.
touching.
And the abomination balloon is the inverse of the
The
vase.
vase. Yeah.
I died.
I had no idea. She was pointing all this stuff out to me. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like
I noticed that. Totally.
yeah, totally.
Absolutely. So fun thing about that scene, the flower petals that are falling throughout that scene, we did in-house. It came looking good, but not quite the tone that we were looking for. So our wonderful technical directors, who are amazing people, who will take they just create out of nothingness. So they help, and also our retake supervisor also helps with processing the new things and the new models and the new vision, so that the whole flower petals falling, that was a whole new,
Wow.
that was done
It
in-house.
really paid
So
off. It was
Yes.
so beautiful. Then with like the
So,
little
so pretty.
send off.
So pretty.
So for the numerous incredible artists that exist within the fandom, what advice do you give them to trying to start a career in animation?
Wonderful question. And I get this a lot. And maybe some of you who are viewing might even be part of the server, but I run a server for LGBTQIA plus people who are in or want to be in animation.
Oh, wow.
And there's about over 1,000 people on that server.
Wow.
So one of the biggest advice that I could give you if you're just starting out and you just really want to get started in creating is to create and to find your favorite artists and find your favorite things and really analyze it and be like, why do I like this? So you look at the colors, you look at the lines, trace. Now, when I say this, there's a caveat. Trace artists that you really like. Don't post it and call it your own, right? It's not yours. You're tracing it. But this is something that like people back in the day would just repaint Michelangelo paintings and like they would just repaint them to learn. So do the same. Find artists that you really admire, like draw their work and see like how did you get to this solution? It's like a math problem. So figure out the math. Practice as much as you can and find community and find people who really like the things that you like. And also don't feel like you have to be great at everything, right?
Yes.
Find something that you like to draw. If you like to draw eyes, like I would always draw eyes in my notebooks and things like that. If you like to draw eyes and draw them so good. Be the best at drawing eyes.
Well, yeah, because that's going to stick out in all your work. I'm
That's
sure. Like people are going to be like,
absolutely.
I love his eyes. Like
That
those
part.
are, they're, that alone, like that focal point could take you in.
And progress takes work. Progress takes so much work. And also, I didn't go to a fancy art school to be where I'm at. You don't have to go to a fancy art school and be in debt. I went to a liberal art school in a very small place in Salisbury, Maryland, called Salisbury University. I didn't go to a fancy art school. I majored in graphic design, and I'm here as an art director in animation. So you don't have to go into school for animation to get into animation. Be passionate about what you want to do.
Yeah.
I think, Roger, you and I both do not have like fancy acting backgrounds either, right? Like you came from stand-up.
Well, actually, I studied bodily function sounds at Harvard.
Of course, yes. The
This
burp
is where I
and
tell
farts class
people,
was
learn how to do fart sounds at Harvard, and then
I love you.
my background was. By the way, people in the chat are asking what's the name of the server. I don't know. That's something that you can give out.
Would you
Or,
like to share the name of the server?
Well, yeah, it's QT and animation. If you go to the queer tag, it's QUEERTAG. If you go to their either Instagram or Twitter, you'll find an email address. The caveat is that this server, you have to be at least 18 years or older and also a member of the LGBTQIA community. This space is curated specifically for people who are within that community. So thank you, allies, for being great, but this is specifically for to elevate and to elevate the voices of the community. So yeah, check us out on Instagram or Twitter.
And if you're worried about that, we'll share it later on our Twitters and we'll retweet it and share it. So.
Yep, and I'm gonna make sure she does because I will forget because my brain sucks.
And then I'll remember.
And then in reality, Rebecca's gonna text us and be like, "So you guys gonna share that?" I'll retweet it now.
So Roger, you started in stand-up before you got into voiceover, right? So
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to be a writer in the writer's room. I was studying screenwriting. I was doing stand-up. I had been a drummer, in garage bands and whatnot. And it was like, my high school theater arts instructor always said the path is never linear, and it's so true. And it's like everything that you guys are talking about. I mean, like it's just about more being like a well-rounded human being. And I think our culture tends to like think that you have to have it all figured out by the time you're 18 years old, that you have to know exactly what you want, where you're supposed to go, and go put yourself into a ton of debt at a college to go get that figured out. And it's like, follow your passion.
You'll dig yourself out one day.
Yeah.
Hopefully by your 40th day.
That part.
And I will say on the eyes, on the detail of working on the eyes, I loved the nickname of Button Eyes that was given to Warden Wrath on this last episode.
Button eyes. Oh, I thought they were little peas. I was like, they look like little peas.
They look well. There was, and then like when normally it was like it looked like she called him, but the owl lady called him Button Eyes
Mask on the like
on the mask.
The
Oh,
plague
those
doctor
are button
mask.
eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like when you cough in
His
mask.
typical look, his normal beautiful look.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also I have a business degree. I don't have an acting degree. Don't tell anybody.
Doesn't mean you're not
Don't let anyone
talented
find
there.
out.
You know?
But it,
She
same
could
thing.
make
Like,
money other ways. She just chooses to do this.
Yeah.
She's just very talented.
but I made the change when I was I made the switch in careers when I was 30, which is a scary time to make a change because you've been told all your life, like you do the thing, you get the degree, you get married, you have kids, you do the white picket fence, and I was like, nah, and I kind of zigged when everyone else zagged, and I'm really happy I did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got one go.
Feeling it.
It's like, yeah. I mean, well, that's why I like the advice too of saying like, don't think that you have to be good at what everybody else is doing. It's like if you have a talent in one particular area, I mean, like for me, it was like I was trying to find my way, and despite doing all these other things, people were saying, like, oh, you should look into this voiceover thing, and then it was like, oh yeah,
Like,
okay.
nah.
And then, yeah, but everything that was being done up until that point, once I got behind the VO mic and I realized, oh, this screenwriting is super helpful for me understanding what the writers have written for this character and the arc that they want, and understanding what animators are needing to do, and giving editors the space they need because you worked on different productions and whatnot. It all kind of comes, it becomes tools in your arsenal. And I was a PA forever.
Oh, you
Come to
were?
production.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I worked
People don't know what production does. Like
Everything.
production. So think of it like there's people who draw and make the art and make the product, but there's people who need to move the product and communicate the product, facilitate, organize, put into
Text
place.
people to remember stuff.
Just like
Yes.
it's not like, and I want people to know that production is of itself an art and a craft. Production, you have to be skilled at communication as well, and people are not good at communicating generally. It's really hard to communicate.
Yes,
like
it
if I'm
is.
like, hey, make that more blue, and you're like, do you want it like a dark blue, a light blue, like
You want more blue everywhere.
right, like, so it's like, oh, can you make this like 25% more cyan, or maybe like 30% darker? You're like,
It's
oh,
so
now
impressive. Whenever I do design notes with Andy, he's like, all right, we're going to make this 10% darker. We're going to put 25% more cyan on this.
It's crazy
And
that
then it's
you
just
can
like,
be
it's
so
like math.
exacting.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
exactly. It's a formula. Like,
Yeah.
I
So
could
long
never.
story short, people don't understand that production is incredibly valuable, and we would just be running around in circles without production. So it's support production, babies.
Yes.
Support.
Yes.
Well, to say nothing of just the collaborative, creative effort, that it's a miracle that stuff ever gets accomplished. When you look at like,
That any
It's-
animated show
it's-
gets made is
Yeah.
like
yes,
feat.
Right,
Yeah.
You just, like,
absolutely.
yeah.
I just can't believe this is all for cartoons.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, people spend less time like organizing governments than we do on like a
she's not like
singular
I
episode.
recorded my first episode as Lilith in 2018.
Oh my god, what was I 9 when I first started recording?
I know.
That's how long ago.
It was like pretty much when I first made the switch to voiceover. They're like, "Great, here's your first." No, just kidding.
in the before times.
In the before times when we got to see people.
Yeah.
I remember going into Disney.
Yeah. Yeah, but so
Did we recap the episode?
We got okay. Wait,
no,
so,
we got totally distracted.
I'm sorry, I have ADHD, and I will just go on a tangent.
You are in good company.
oh man,
Thank goodness.
I'm in my head being like, Shh, we're not talking about that now. Shh, let's save it for later." Okay,
So people are
Go ahead.
people are requesting an Owl House podcast. Like, are you guys porting this to a podcast at some point or what?
This is just us wanting to talk about the show because we like it as
Yeah.
fans, and a podcast is a whole lot of work.
Yeah, it's true. That's another thing. Yeah, it's very easy. I guess that's another thing for people to kind of also understand too, is that it's like just getting this like little snippet of information that you guys are giving about production, and like that's why it's so unbelievably frustrating when like you know how many thousands and thousands of hours of work and dedication and passion go into it, and somebody goes, "It needs to be bluer," you know. And you're like, we had so many meetings.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This ribbon animation looks really bad. And I'm like, honey, you should see a lot
It's
more.
gonna be quiet.
It's like a smear. It's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to look like that.
Yeah. Now, trust and believe, when y'all catch things, we know it's there too. And we want to
Yeah.
fix it.
But again, there are
But
budgets
there's
and timelines.
budgets and there's timelines. And we want y'all to see the episode and not keep it to make it perfect.
And
so
you
we
can't.
have to.
Art's never like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
can't. You don't work a
absolutely.
scene 300. You don't spend 300 hours to get the scene perfect. Like you do a reasonable amount, never,
Yeah.
and you do your
To
best.
tell the
but-
whole story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted to talk about Edric.
Edric, yeah.
Edric
Yes.
and Emma.
Edric's
Edric and
his whole arc and his journey of secretly being a totally geeky tween
Yeah.
and feeling outcast and not knowing his niche and not feeling heard. I don't know. I just feel like that's so many universal
Like
struggles.
this whole episode was just right in the
Yes,
field.
Yes.
Like I felt like everyone's like, "Oh, Luce." I was like, "What about Edric?"
Mhm.
You know, there's so and Amity and her daddy issues. We never knew about that.
Right. Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
And is it just me, or did the concealment stone look a lot like Lilith from season 1? I'm just
I
saying.
mean,
I'm just putting it out there. Just, you know.
there are stones that do lots of things. This is a very magical world.
This is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I died at Spellraiser with Luce's
yes.
name in the brawl. The
Oh,
Spellraiser.
Bellraiser.
A pointedly punny season. Also, I was living for Luce's like little tween gloves, like the fingerless
Oh my
gloves.
God.
I was like, I wore those when
She's
I was
such a
14, and I
baddie.
thought I was cool.
like a jock episode.
She
Yeah.
did, like a
She
little
came into her
saucy, a
element.
little like bad girl rock and
Absolutely.
roller.
And I love how we get to see how much more comfortable she's getting
Mhm.
with Amity.
Yes,
Yes.
and being vulnerable.
And
like
being
she,
vulnerable.
I felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm picturing, but I was like, she let someone take care of her, and that's not easy. Like letting
That
people
part.
in.
And you
She
know
let
what?
her in.
The biggest thing, and this seems to be my theme of the day, communication.
Mhm.
The communication. She
Yes.
was able to very much communicate what was
Yes.
happening. Eventually, it took her some
Yes.
time, of course, but like when she sat down, she really let herself through and like was vulnerable to Amity, and you got to see
And when she like couldn't stand up, and she said, "I'm going to stay here first."
right,
Take
absolutely,
care of yourself. Take your moment. That's okay.
being
Like,
truthful and honest as far as you
Yeah.
can, and
as much as
comfortable-
you're aware. Yeah.
absolutely.
Even the warden had moments of vulnerability.
Yes.
You know,
So that
honestly,
brings us
like I
to
was
the
impressed.
burning question. During lunches, what made you descend into that madness? Like,
He-
are you proud? Do you have regrets? Was it the right choice?
Were you bullied? Did you not have it? And like you didn't
He's
have
just a
one?
very-
Was it worth it?
Yes, Praxis.
There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers to the guy. No, well, no, I was gonna say like what you guys were talking about too. Like because I was struck by how in just a short period of time you can actually kind of really find yourself going, okay, this dynamic between these two characters is so strong. The relationship is so strong, but it's complicated, or it's this, or it's that. And
Mhm.
for a show to be able to do that in the very short period of time and to strike that
Very
balance,
short.
like I don't think people understand like how quality writing
Yes.
and the performances that support it, it's like it's really
Yes.
really difficult when we suspend our disbelief to go along on this passive little thing that we're experiencing. It's really hard to get connected and attached to these characters. But I mean, people are so passionate for this show that it's like it just speaks volumes of the quality of from the top all the way down, that the production is so solid. But yeah, no, it's
The writers
Warden-
are so strong.
Yes.
They are
So
powerful.
good.
I know people ask us on Twitter all the time, like, how much do you improv? And I'm like, none.
Not at all.
None.
Yeah, you don't
It's
have
so
to.
good. It's already there.
Yeah.
The only time is like if
Yeah.
I can't say something or I have like a lisp, and then they're like, "Okay, we'll change that word." So it's like you've not said it right 11 times. Like,
oh funny.
clearly, your mouth isn't going to say it.
I also, like, I kind of freaked out a little bit. I mean, I know they hit us over the head with it, but realizing that the Abomaton alarm was the same as the alarm on Luce's phone.
Yeah.
That took me a minute. It took me 2 watch throughs to catch that. And I was like, what?
Still,
Mhm.
how does she catch all this stuff?
Yeah.
Just the feels. Like,
Absolutely.
my God.
I'm always looking at the pretty colors and what's in the background.
We plussed it up, actually, the alarm. We made it more vibrant during in post.
All right, I'm gonna try to get through some of the questions here.
Yeah.
Answer some cues.
Roger, can you please say you just got bamboozled?
Should I do it in Warden Wrath's voice? You got bamboozled.
Yes, it's even better. Yes.
Oh, there was a question on Twitter. What would be your character's favorite board game or Pokemon?
Oh my gosh.
Those are both really big.
I'm pretty sure
I
Lilith.
think the only
Cribbage or
Pokemon I know is War Turtle. So
okay.
that's a Pokemon, right?
Yes.
That is,
Sure.
yes.
Okay, sure.
Fan
War
verified.
Turtle, and board game, oh man, Life.
I
Play the
mean,
game of Life.
he's got
Yeah.
some choices to think about.
So sad.
Yes.
I think Lilith's favorite board game would be like cribbage, like something ridiculously
Cribbage.
arcane and like old and obnoxious, and like you have to be, 75 to get the reference.
Oh, I think Lucis would be like, yeah, like Settlers of Catan, like something wildly
Yes.
involved that takes forever and no one else wants to play with it.
True.
What about if you guys as like
Ooh.
as members of Bonesboro, what would be your favorite board game and or Pokemon?
Pokemon? I feel like I'd have to have like a ghost type Pokemon on the Boiling Isles, right?
I kind of love a good psychic type.
Psychic.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good psychic
okay.
type would be
Yes.
fun.
Okay.
Great answers.
Gengar would be fun. I think Gengar.
Gengar.
Theirs are so much more thought out. I
I
was
don't
like,
know. I don't know
Absolutely.
Pokemon.
me too. I was like, I know 6
Games,
Pokemon.
and I still love either Spades or Uno.
Mhm.
Okay. I can fuck with
Oh
you.
no.
Spades is really fun, especially when you slap the card on the table. Like, not this time.
Not today.
Not today. So that's a really fun one.
I love that. I love that. All right. Do you have other questions from the Twitters, or should I try to read this without my
I
phone?
think we covered a lot of them. Oh, here.
Okay.
Um,
I'm old.
let's go. Let's go.
It's great.
I can look. I can see close, but I can't see far. You can see far, and you can't see close. We're a team.
Balance each other.
Okay. I think this is an important question. Everyone's favorite brand of water.
Water?
California in a Brita filter.
Yes. New York City tap water. That's my answer.
LA's finest.
Okay.
I'm an Aquafina guy. It's a go-to. Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's like.
Well, you don't live in LA
Being a
anymore,
celebrity.
so you're not blessed with the rocket dying fuel. I get it.
Yeah, true.
Bubbly water.
We love bubbly water on this end of
Oh
the table.
yes, bubbly water.
It's so spicy.
What would be your favorite? What would be your character's favorite holidays?
Oh.
Oh.
Boiling Isles have holidays?
Yeah.
I guess human holidays. I don't know, Warden Wrath. What do you think?
Valentine's Day.
Aww. Oh, that's true.
Again,
though.
it's
I don't want to
so
talk about
sad.
it.
And you're alone every year, bud.
I don't want to talk about it.
Don't send them.
She loved me.
Why won't you love me? That's amazing. Lilith would probably be something like Boxing Day, like something
right.
celebrating.
Something
Like
historic, like
international,
deeply
calligraphy
historically,
day or something like that.
deeply historically rooted.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Uh,
Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween or Christmas. I think Lucy
Yeah.
really like giving gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Any other burning questions? We're gonna if we've gone over our 30
Twitter
minutes,
ones.
which we try to keep it at. Thank you, Roger. It's always so good to see you.
course.
Thank you. for being
Thank
here.
you.
it's such an honor to get to speak with you.
I know. I wish. Thank you, and likewise, because you guys are doing like incredible work on this show. So it's like I'm like I said, it's like it's so cool to go in, you do something, and then all of a sudden you just realize I don't know what I'm doing when I get there.
Exactly.
And usually you're getting just like a little snippet of something, and then to see what this show has done, how it's resonated with people, and the impact that it has, and to know that I get to be like a couple little things in it kind of thing. It's just like, thank you. So congratulations.
You're not though. You're like an OG. You're day one.
Yeah.
Like you're
Well, yeah, but still,
first
I mean,
episode.
yes, but I am honored to be a part of it, and you guys are doing incredible work. And so yeah, it's so nice to virtually
them.
meet you guys.
Thank
But
them.
thank you.
all the sleepless years of your.
Teamwork makes the dream.
Please,
Yeah.
everybody, forgive my Blair Witch camera work. I'm doing the best with my tired left
We should
arm
just
here.
get a gimbal. We're so stupid. Oh goodness, we could get a gimbal, guys. We are learning on the go.
We are learning
Yeah,
on the go.
please,
Just in time.
add
for-
to our GoFundMe.
Right.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you, friend. It's really good to see you. I hope all is well, and hopefully I'll get to see you again soon. In person, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes, you get up here.
I'm working on it.
See you soon.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's
thank
snowing
you,
up
everybody.
here, by the way.
It's snowing?
It has
Did
been
you just say
snowing
it's snowing?
up here. Yes, it has been snowing up. It's not right now, but we've got more snow on Saturday. They reopened Bogus Basin for Saturday only. Yes, it's hilarious.
That's the ski resort in town.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was 95 here this week.
Yeah. I'm
It
going to
was-
be in
it was
Indio
the
next
actual
week.
surface of the sun.
Yes, I'm going to be in Indio next week. It'll be 100 degrees, and I'm just like, it's 42 outside right now.
Somebody's going to Coachella. Hey.
Weekend two.
Sad
Okay.
beach stress.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Thank you.
Thank
Y'all-
you.
y'all
Thank you
have
for the
me
awesome
hang out.
questions.
There was
Thank
a
you
lot
for
of
the
questions on
questions.
there, and to one of them, at the very least, I do want to say that it was a very intentional, and yes, the date is correct. That's what I'll say.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Can you give your Twitter and social media handles so people
Oh,
can follow
absolutely.
you, please?
I think mine is oh hey Andy with underscores in between the O and the hey.
And like 14 E's.
yeah, I think one of them might have
3 E's or 3 Y's.
one of them might have like 3 Y's, but oh hey Andy. But yeah, and I it's so funny how people pointed out that one scene because that was
Yes.
one of the ones I literally did in post, and I was like, oh look, it's my art.
It's my baby.
It was the counters didn't the not counters the cabinets they didn't have anything on them.
Oh, wow.
So in post we added like little sticky notes to be like these like communicating with Camilla with like all these like fun post-it notes, and there was a
Aw.
calendar, and I was like, Dana, we should figure out what date is going to be on this calendar.
Nice.
So there was a date.
And it was very specific.
And it was specific.
on purpose.
And it was on purpose. So if y'all are like, this might be the wrong date, it came from the head of the creator. So
All right.
let it be known that it's a date.
So O_hey_Andy. Roger, where can people find you?
Thank you.
I'm at Roger Craig Smith. It's very cryptic.
I know.
Yes.
So rude.
Tough to
I'm the only
find.
one with this stupid handle. I need to fix this.
All right. Rebecca, give us your handle.
It's at Hey Rebecca Rose on Twitter.
All right. There we go.
Woo.
And
Oh, snark later.
and Cissy Speaks, as you all know. Thank you, friend. So good to see you. Thank you for being here.
So good to see you. Thank you.
And I didn't answer any loose questions. Of course, I cried like a baby.
I mean,
I'm not a
same.
monster.
Yeah, we all cried.
I don't do fake tears. I am always ready to real cry. So
Yeah.
they were all real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all real cry.
Yeah,
We all real cry.
like we literally have to watch the episode like 7 times at the very least, and all 7 times they get very emotional.
Yeah.
It is hard to watch this heartbreak many
Yeah.
a time. I'm like,
Subject yourself.
it's so beautiful.
Oh, and I have flowers.
Flowers for
Oh.
Oh, I'm crying again.
everyone. Don't be depressed. Bye.
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 Wait, Rebecca. Ah, sorry. Bye.
Once more, in harmony.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ah.